He's feeling turned on, it's me. I grab one too, my humble soul. Use it to warm my freezing heart. And on cold sweat pushes me now. Oh, I just wanna live sweet. The conquering towns all same day. To a far distant star, as the moon I fly away. All I say will be true. We're no cages of ours, a volume of...
Hey, Darkman here, and welcome back for Bleach Chapter 679 review, The End. And you know, with a chapter title like that, you'd think that this would be the last chapter of the story, but it's not. Yeah. And you may have also noticed that I have new pictures up of your Ouija and her cat Thundercat mode. I have Rukia and her Bonkai. At the end of the video, I'll do like closer ups with them. Let me just say, it is like 1,000,000 degrees out here where I'm recording this, and I am dying in this. So the chapter starts off like kind of going back to where like what Kubo does, where he's like replays like the last page or two of the last chapter, but here he actually kind of makes it shorter, where it only takes like 75% of the page, and he's just pretty much saying like the Almighty isn't like just saying the future is changing it, and he says it's not far off, like it's not like different from the power that you both possess. It's just that you are unable to influence more than what you just see, while I'm able to change the entirety of fate that I see in mine, which is pretty much just saying, yeah, I mean, it's not that different, it's just like mine's way better because I can change everything that happens, while you can only change what's happening in the end. And he pretty much just says like, Ichigo, up until now, before you've come over despair countless times before, or you've changed your fate, but you know why that you've been able to do that? The answer is simple. It's simple. It is because I was not there. Pretty much just saying, yeah, you beat all those other guys, but now I'm here, and I am not like everyone else. I'm kind of better. And he says like, go ahead, change the future. I want to see you try to beat me now. Oh, go on. You can despair now. And it looks like Ichigo's just kind of like going insane, like his eyes get super wide. He's just kind of like sitting there shivering, and before he just like lets out like a super loud yell. And then we cut back to Uryu versus Hashwolf, and Uryu's down on the ground now, even bloodier, which means that, yeah, the only time we cut over to Hashwolf versus Uryu, it's when they're talking, not actually fighting. Alright. And Hashwolf's just kind of like walking over to Uryu, just saying like, my shrift is B. The balance. What? No way! You mean that thing that everyone's known since like the first time you hinted at it? You didn't decide to reveal it till like 180 chapters later? Oh my gosh. You're so clever. No one never saw that coming, no. But he's pretty much just but like the power looks like it takes like the manifestation of this shield, and it doesn't really look like taking the sword, it kind of just looks like a normal sword, but the shield does look like special. And he says like, by taking the misfortune that occurs within my sphere of influence and dispersing it to all those that have fortunate luck and lead charmed lives, I maintain the balance of the world. Pretty much saying like, he takes like either like the fortune from others and disperses that onto other people, or takes the misfortune of others and disperses that onto people, keeping the balance. He says he can also take all like the misfortune that happens to him and put it onto other people, which pretty much just leads to being like, oh, if you hurt me, I can hurt you back. And he says like, well, it doesn't look like there's much of a point to like fighting anymore, since you have like no chance of winning, and you don't really want to talk to me anymore. And he just pretty much says like, wait, don't you want to see my script? I don't know why I said shrift. That's not an H there, that's a C. Looks like you've activated my trap card, Antithesis. It reflects the damage I've taken back onto my opponent while fixing my clothes. Well, it looks like you've activated my trap card, the Balance. It takes all the damage I've taken, puts it onto you, and a little bit more. So yeah, we learned what his shrift is, which I kind of script. I kind of thought Yuha would have taken that away from him, just because, well, Uryu's not really a good guy, so he could have like seen Uryu do it and then like take it from him, but I guess Yuha sees the future, so he's just kind of like, well, it would have been, it's a little more fun letting him have more power than he, like, having extra power so he thinks he can win, but when he can't. So yeah, his antithesis is pretty much just like taking like two targets and completely reversing them. So when I guess it fixes his clothes, it's because Hashwalt's clothes was fixed, I guess. And Hashwalt just kind of says like, oh, with such an ability like that, you may be able to beat Yuha. You might be the only one capable of beating Yuha. And he really just kind of says like, is that something like hinting at the power of the Almighty? And Hashwalt just says like, well, I'm now simply saying that I was right in trying to stop you here and now. So he pretty much just like starts running out. But when Hashwalt just kind of like reflects the damage, the misfortune he's taken back onto Uryu. And it turns out like all the misfortune is like directed into the shield and then he reflects it back. Like, isn't like direct reflection, it's like he has to like, it gets deflected and absorbed into the shield, so he can like deflect it in like different spurts. And he says, and it rains even more misfortune upon you, as Uryu just kind of explodes into more blood and cuts all over. He's just kind of walks over and is like, how many times must I repeat myself? You have absolutely no chance of winning. I feel like I've said this every single chapter that we fought. He says like, you just don't know to quit. You're just like all the other humans, not knowing that there's no point in it anymore. Like, you're just like everyone else. And as he goes to cut Uryu, it's like cuts over to Ichigo versus Yuha as he's being tossed around, choked out. He's just like saying like, oh, you have no more fight? I expected so much more from you. Ichigo says like, nothing works. My sword, he broke it. Or he may shield, he can get through it. It's all over. And Yuha's just kind of like, alright, well, this is pointless now. Oh, so he goes like, he says like, it's time for the power that I so generously granted you to return to its rightful owner. And as he reaches towards Ichigo's face to grab him, this shows like the stuff that looks like blue vein, but like, it doesn't look exactly like blue vein because like blue vein is like nice, straight, like kind of square, like it looks neat. But this kind of looks rougher, like more jagged and kind of rounded in certain parts. So that's like the power coming out. So like, it's probably not something that's natural, so it kind of looks different, is what I'm guessing. But I mean, it could be like blue artery or something. I don't exactly remember how that looks. But I mean, hey, Ichigo hasn't done any Quincy powers yet, so he might be trying something new. I mean, it'd kind of be nice. Considering he did get hollow powers, and he did use a Grand Ray Sero, but that's it. That's really all his hollow form did before Yuha just kind of like took his horn off of him and threw it at him. Yeah. But it's kind of nice to finally have Hashwalt's script shown, even though we've all known what it is already. But it's kind of neat that it comes with a little shield, I guess. But the problem that I have with his power is it's the balance, so it should make things equal. So when I was reading, I was like thinking like, okay, so it's going to be like Pain Split from Pokemon. Gosh, I make a lot of Pokemon references in these Bleach videos. But it's just kind of like, that's what I thought it would be. Like, okay, so it's the balance. So Uryu did his antithesis and inflicted all this damage upon Hashwalt. So Hashwalt's going to like take half of that damage he just took and reflect it back onto Uryu. So now they're balanced out. That's what I thought it was going to be. But no, it's not the balance, because he took all the damage he took, put it back onto Uryu, and did even more. That's not balancing out. If that'd be sort of like Uryu's this side, Hashwalt's this side, it'd be like, okay, he's getting beaten down, but then he ups the scales with the antithesis. So then you think like the balance would put them back on equal terms, but no, it makes it more like this, because Uryu's now so hurt because of the balance. It does like extra damage. It's not how the balance should work. Yeah, that's pretty much it, I guess. Okay, I want to, like, in the next chapter, someone needs to show up to help Ichigo and Uryu. Because I kind of like was saying they're reading this, because they kept switching back and forth between them multiple times, and it's just kind of like, they're both just saying they're getting their butts kicked by their opponents. And neither one of like their opponents have transformed yet. Like, Hashwalt still has like a Volt standing, and forgot it. Yuha, I don't know how I forgot his name, has the power of Yamamoto's Bankai, and he might have a Volt standing. So someone needs to show up. I'm thinking next chapter, because like it was clearly showing like in this chapter specifically that neither one of them can win at all. Like it was kind of getting pushed down our throats in this chapter. Like in the last chapter, yeah, it didn't really look like Ichigo would win, but this chapter was kind of like more of like forcing it, like showing how absolutely outclassed all of them, like both of them are by their opponents. So I'm thinking next chapter is Ryuken's going to show up, help Uryu, Ishin's going to show up, help Ichigo, and then maybe a chapter or two later, Rukia and Renji are eventually going to show up, because they've been coming towards this place since like chapter 675. Yeah, they've just taken forever to get there. But yeah, that's pretty much it. See you guys next time. I forgot to show the pictures. I don't know if I've already shown the other four in this one. I think I did, but just in case. We got Kenpachi going Bankai. I forgot his name again, don't know how. Going into his eye-opening powers. Got Candace, just... She has no real relevance, I just thought it was a cool picture. Tosho going into his adult form. Yoruichi Thundercat mode. And Rukia going Bankai. Yeah, bye.